Hey YouTube, still don't have a camera up, but I figured I can use my webcam to try to do some videos, and I've been meaning to do a review on some books. I've got a couple here in front of me, and if you'll stick with me until the end of the video, I'm going to do a small little giveaway. I'm up to over 1,000 subscribers now, so thank you very much. I'm not one to put as much effort into my YouTube channel as a lot of other people, but I know if people understand I'm busy with work and then trying to do gardening and canning and all that. It gets a little difficult. So anyway, the first book we're going to start out with is one I found in a thrift store. I was tickled to death to find it. I never find canning books in thrift stores. They're very rare in my area. And flipping through it, there was a couple of recipes in there. I thought, oh, I'd really like to try those. So this is Home Preserving, Making the Most of Your Home Produce by Lucy Cornell. I believe she is British or Australian. I'm not sure. Let's see. UK. Okay, she's definitely British. UK. Didn't say where in the UK, so I should say just UK. All right. Starting out with the recipes that attracted me were seafood sauce and a sweet chili dipping sauce, and they are right next to each other. This book has got some gorgeous pictures in it. But as I got this home, I was looking at both of these recipes because I was interested in them, and it says it gives me a headspace. Let's see, the seafood sauce is a 1/4 inch headspace. Screw on lid firmly, and then can the jars. See page 19 and following pages. Okay, so we go to page 19, and it's a brief description. It's about 6 paragraphs over 3-4 pages here that talk a little bit about pressure canning and that food being preserved as high acid content, pickles, jams, and jellies. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a little weird. It says unless the food is being preserved as high acid, okay, salt or sugar content resulting in water availability, such as pickles, jellies, the filled jars are also processed under pressure in a canner. So she, other than mentioning that, that's pretty much, it doesn't even say water bath. It goes into the pressure canning. Gives a little more description of the pressure canning. But nowhere in here are there any processing times for any of the recipes in it. There's also a mention, older type jars had ceramic seals inside a one-piece zinc lid. Another method that is no longer recommended was the use of a layer of hot paraffin poured directly on the top of the food, especially jams and jellies, to seal it from the air, reducing microorganisms such as mold. Okay, remember that for a moment. Before I forget this, I'm going to try to see if I can get this picture up here close enough to the camera. I can't see. I don't know if that'll focus in well enough, but that's the pressure canner picture, and I don't know if you can see the needle well enough or not on that picture, but the needle on the dial gauge is all the way over to the far right in the red. The steam coming out the vent pipe is going out the side, not straight up. Basically, if that canner was under that much pressure, that thing's about to blow its top. So I thought that's really kind of a silly picture to put in here for if you're trying to, recommend safe canning methods. So, okay. Now, about the paraffin wax. One of the first recipes in here, the strawberry jam. When it tells you at the very end, the last step is to ladle the jar into warm sterilized jars, ladle the jam into warm sterilized jars, allow a 1/4 inch headspace, and then seal with wax discs. Okay, yeah, didn't you just say that using paraffin wax was not recommended? So overall, Not a book I'm going to keep. I might copy the 2 recipes out of it that I got it for and see if I can, at some point down the line, figure out a safe processing time according to one of the Ball books or the USDA book. I can't recommend this to new canners. I know there's a lot of new canners out there. I know there's a lot of people in Sutton Day's Facebook group that have joined recently that are new canners and learning. Don't waste your money on this unless you just want a lot of really pretty pictures, because I don't feel this is a safe book to use, especially starting out. So that's just me, my opinion. Make your own. A lot of you who have got enough canning under your belt, like I do, a number of years, might feel more comfortable with it. And anybody could get it and always go look up processing times on other things, but I'm just not going to recommend it. Okay, on to the next book, Pickles and Preserves by Marion Brown. This is a 282-page book. I was real tickled to find this. It popped up on a recommendation search when I was looking for some other books. I had not seen it before or heard of it, so I thought, great, I'm going to grab that one. Well, this one was published originally in 1955, so this is not really not a safe canning book either, unfortunately. None of the recipes on here, I gotta say right quick, it was re-released in 2002 and has a foreword from somebody that I've never heard of before. But, and that's why it's got this nice fancy new cover. Excuse me. But there is not a single mention of any kind of headspace or processing time on any recipe in this book. So, again, I can't recommend this for new canners. If you're like me and enjoy collecting vintage cookbooks, even though this one is a reprint, yeah, add it to your collection. You might feel comfortable enough and looking at a recipe and going, okay, yeah, I know to process this headspace and this time in a water bath canner or a pressure canner. This one even came with a nice recipe card for shoe fly pie in here. I thought that was nice. So again, a little disappointing. This is the University of North Carolina Press, but not by their extension, county extension. So anyway, okay, disappointment. I am going to keep that one for my collection because I do like vintage cookbooks. All right, little magazine. A coworker of mine went to the Dollar Tree store today, and she said, "I saw this and thought of you, and I grabbed it for you." Thought that was really sweet of her. This is basic recipes, pretty much. There are a few in there that are, let's see, there's one for, where'd it go? Balsamic cherry tomato onion conserve. This is not an original recipe. I've seen this recipe in other books. I've seen it on the SB Canning site, if that's a site you like. It is a blog by a master canner. I trust her. I'm comfortable with her recipes, and I trust her. She gives headspaces and processing times, and she talks about a number of, she practices safe canning, despite what some other people say, and we won't get into that. But, to each his own. I'm comfortable with her site. You can make up your own mind. I'll put a link to her site below. This magazine would be good for people who are toying with the idea of getting into canning. It touches on getting started, the tools you'll need. It has a 15-step procedure for water bath canning. It's got a 9-step procedure for pressure canning. I haven't gone over it that thoroughly, but like I said, it's really basic recipes. Peach jam, to step it up a notch, it's got peach schnapps jam, which I've seen in other books, other places. Cherry jam, it's got some salsas in here. Corn relish. It's also got freezing fruits and vegetables in the back for other preserving methods. So very, very basic, only 48 pages, but I thought it was kind of neat that, here it is in the Dollar Tree store. So there's that. All right, now on to the giveaway. I had ordered a vintage canning cookbook, Better Homes and Gardening Home Canning Cookbook. This is from 1973. It is not up to date. It I can't recommend using recipes out of it. This is purely you want it for a collection because you like to collect vintage cookbooks. Okay, I'm gonna have to put a little restrictions on this as far as where I ship to. I looked into trying to ship this to Canada and overseas, and it would cost more than the book is worth. So I'm sorry for those of you elsewhere outside of the U.S. I've got to keep this U.S. so I can ship it media mail and keep it affordable. This was published in 1973. It definitely has some big no-nos in here. Let's see, I'm trying to find, there's meat and poultry. Okay, yeah, here we go. There is a recipe in here for canning basic meatballs, and it has 6 eggs and 6 cups of soft breadcrumbs. Both of those not safe to can. So please don't. I ended up with 2 copies of this because when I ordered it, they left it out of my original package with some other books. When I contacted the seller, they immediately said they would, send me the copy I should have gotten. They ended up sending 2 copies. When I contacted them and asked them if they wanted me to send it back, they said no, keep it, donate, do whatever you want to with it. So I'm going to offer it to one of y'all here in the U.S. Just put in the comments below that you want the cookbook, and we'll do a drawing for it in, say, about a week. Today's July 16th, and I'm recording this in the evening. I'm going to try to have this video posted by Saturday. So we'll plan on next Saturday for a drawing, and hopefully I'll remember. Maybe some of y'all can remind me. I know that a lot of people are in Sutton Day's Facebook group are not subscribers of mine, but I love those ladies over there. If you don't know about that Facebook group, please go check it out. Sutton Days, great bunch of ladies. We are always trying to help people, especially beginners. So anyway, that's it in a nutshell. I hope you enjoyed my reviews. Hate that they were negative, but I just want to get the word out there to save people the time and trouble of purchasing books if the information I'm giving you lets you know that, yeah, that's definitely not one for me. I'll pass on this. So anyway, have a nice evening. Happy canning.